Yo, once again, it's on. Back at you one more again, Real Kids TV and the House Like Kitchen Sinks. Now, before I get into this afternoon's story, if you will, y'all jump in the comment section. Let me know where you're chiming in from. I'm in Lexington, Kentucky. Let me know your city, your state, your hood, your set, whatever it may be that you're representing. And let us know if you're the man or the woman that you say you be. First of all, I want to apologize for the glare. It's very, very sunny in Lexington, Kentucky today, so having a hard time finding some shade. But nevertheless, there is a message. I often hear women all the time, and I don't understand this sort of position, stance that they take. I mean, I do to a certain extent, but I hear women often speak about, I want a man that don't play about me. He don't play no games about me. He ain't taking no shorts. And I hear this and I understand that a woman wants a man to really, really care for them. A man that really, really is going to go above and beyond. But a lot of that is blown way, way out of proportion. You see, you have some. Keyword is some. You have some women that feel as though if a dude even tries to speak to me, my man's not playing that. If I cuss a dude out and just totally disrespect the dude and my man knows about it, hears of it, he's not playing about that. They really want their man to be on some like super hero sort of ordeal. I'm trying to watch my cursing. And all of that is cute. All of that is fine and dandy in the very beginning. It's cute. Until you really, really discover that this man is literally not playing about you. Now there's a whole lot of complaints. Now it's going downtown filing EPOs, emergency protective orders. But what happened to what you was initially saying? Got a young lady named Ebony. Ebony runs across a young man named Mike. They hit it off. Ebony had she had been looking for love. She had never quite found that love that she was in need of. When she runs across Mike, he does everything for her. Don't get it twisted. She had her own job. She had her own place. She was more than capable of taking care of herself. But when she ran across this individual, Mike, he was one of those, I guess in a sense, a throwback dude. Meaning every week he's filling the tank up. Not even every week. A couple times a week he's filling the gas tank up. He didn't live with her initially. He's giving her money for the bills. Every time they went out to eat, he paid for it. Anytime they went and done something, he foot the bill. Even though there were times to where Ebony would volunteer, no, baby, I got this. He's bringing her flowers. She don't go out with him. There is no going out with my girls. No. We go out together, baby. That's just the way that it is. Not to say that she never went out with her girls, but the majority of the time, you seen one, you seen them both. She's getting on social media. My man don't play about me. I got me one. You need to get you one. They're going to different events, concerts, just outings, if you will. And they're sharing all of these things on social media. Everything on the outside appeared to be beautiful, and actually it was beautiful on the inside, to my recollection. Time, surpassed. They've been together for about 2.5, 3 years. Mike had an issue going on. Mike was way behind in child support. It wasn't necessarily that he was a deadbeat. It was just that life lifed. And although he loved his two kids, Had 2 different mothers. He got behind. Now in the state of Kentucky, I don't know what state you're in. I can only tell you what goes on in the Commonwealth of Kentucky. Once you get behind $1,000 or more, it's considered, the laws probably have changed, and then again, they may not have. But at this particular juncture, once you get behind over $1,000, you're considered flagrant non-support. And they coming for you, man. Felony. Bad boy, what you gonna do? Yeah, they coming for you. Them peoples is coming for you. Mike had never had any, he had a couple of run-ins with the law, but he wasn't a felon. He was several thousands, $6,000, $7,000 behind. People came for him, arrested him, flagrant non-support. What's so ironic about that is he had the option of purging out. So if you purge out, means that whatever you're behind, you pay that amount, and the charges are dropped, and you're released from jail. Well, your average individual, unless you're hustling or you have a great job or have family support, friends that have, good jobs or what have you, you're not able to purge out that amount, $6,000, $7,000. It's just not what it is. So he's going back and forth to court or what have you. He ends up taking a plea deal, and he has to cop out to a felony. He gets 1 year. 1 year probated, meaning that if he messes up throughout the course of, it's 1 year, but he's on probation for 5 years. Now make it make sense. He's on probation for 5 years. If he messes up, he has to go and do a year. A year in Kentucky is not really a year. So he would probably end up doing about 8 months. He's doing everything he's supposed to do. He's paying his child support. He's trying to get caught up. And again, he wasn't a deadbeat. It was just one of those things to where life was life, and then he got behind. He lost his job. But the people don't care anything about that. They still want that payment. He never lost contact with his kids. He's continuing to be in their lives. He was continuing to go to games and pick them up from school and, all the things that a father should do. But he just didn't have the money to, by the time he got his paycheck coming in on a regular basis or what have you, for 2 kids, he just fell behind. Things do happen. They don't make you, a deadbeat. They don't make you a terrible father. You just had circumstances in life that took place. About 4.5 years goes past. He's on probation. Like I said, he's doing everything that he's supposed to do. One night, him and his lady, they step out. She always kept the, protection with him. He ends up going to the store, and, first of all, they step out, and then, he drops her off at the house, and he's about to come in, but he's like, you know what? I need to run up here to this store. There was something that he forgot to get. I'm sorry, you all, if it seems that I'm distracted. I'm like in some shade right now, right? And I'm beside a Domino's Pizza, and I think that I'm parked, or the driver's parked, so people kind of looking at me like, what's this son bitch doing here in a parking spot, by God? So I'm kind of, I don't want to be rude and take anybody's spot, but nevertheless, there is a message. He goes to the store. When he goes to the store, it just so happens that the police pull him over. He forgets to turn his headlights on. I've done it 1,001 times. You're in a well-lit area, and you can't even tell that your headlights are not on. He forgets to turn his headlights on. They've been drinking. He wasn't drunk or anything like that, but the officer, been drinking, sir? One thing led to the next. Pull him out of the car. They search the car, whatever. They find the protection. Y'all rock with me. They find this protection in the car. He doesn't say anything. They take him to jail. He's not trying to explain to the police, it's not mine, it's not, because it's this girl's car. So if he's saying it's not mine, then you're saying that it's your girl's. Now, although she was a non-felon, he still knew not to say anything. This is a man without a criminal record, with the exception of child support. Get him downtown. They're trying to interrogate where's the gun come from, the protection, whatever. Man, give me a lawyer, man. I don't got nothing to say. Nothing. Goes through the process. The protection belonged to Ebony, his woman. What he wasn't understanding of is that she bought this from an individual, not out of a store, not out of, a legalized pawn shop or anything. No, she bought this from an individual, and the protection was stolen. That really makes things way, way more complicated. See, it's one thing to get caught with the protection with the heat, but it's a totally different thing to get caught with the heat that's stolen. He knows that it's hers. She even volunteered to step forward and say, this is mine now, baby. No, I can't have you. She had kids. They didn't have kids together. She has kids. He took the blame. Although he knew that the protection was the heat was in the car, but he didn't know that it was stolen. She didn't know that it was stolen either. She bought it from an individual, but it was stolen. He's facing all this time now. The Commonwealth is so rotten, man. They'll hit you with being a habitual offender. It don't have to be the same exact charge. He had like less than 6 months left before he was totally done with his probation for the child support case. But if you fall within a 5-year window, say for instance, if you go to prison, right? You serve your complete sentence out. But when you come home, you have to go more than 5 years to put you outside of the realm of being a persistent felony offender, habitual offender. I don't care if it's, I done seen dudes, I don't care if it's 4 years, 11 months, and 29 days. They have the option of hitting you with being a habitual offender, which is, in terms, enhances your sentence. So instead of facing 1 to 5 for having this heat, now he's facing 5 to 10. But because it's stolen, now he's facing 10 to 20. 10 to 20. He's in the county jail. He's going back and forth. He's fighting his case. Whatever. It's how rotten the prosecution really, really is, man. This dude wasn't no danger to society. This dude wasn't okay, sure, he had a felony. He's a convicted felon. That's things they used to say in the 20s and 30s, a convicted felon. I guarantee you that if the feds were to, or the police period, but I'm going to just say the feds, because their investigations are a lot more thorough, to say the least. If they were to probe into your lives, you all that's never even probably had a speeding ticket, or at best a speeding ticket, if they were to probe into your life, your privacy, they would be able to conjure up charges, felony charges against you. Because, let's just be real, sometimes you're committing a felony and you don't even know it. Which goes totally against what the laws were written for, because whenever you're committing a crime, you have to be charged with a crime lawfully. You have to knowingly be doing something wrong. If you're doing something wrong, but you're not aware that it's wrong, you're not really supposed to be charged with a crime, but they don't care about that. It's all about convictions. That's all that it's about. Your average person is poor. Come on, Kens, I ain't poor, man. You got $7,500 to your name, man. You poor, man. Because guess what? A decent lawyer is going to want that just to talk to you. just to take your case, not even go to trial, just to potentially get you a plea deal. People can't afford these attorneys, high-priced attorneys, but you can't blame, you can't fault the attorneys. They're just doing what they do. As I mentioned, he's going back and forth. He ends up taking a plea deal to where he takes an 8-year plea. 8 years, you do 20% of that. What is 20% of 8 years? Let's see. On a 5-year sentence, you're going to do 12 months. On a 6-year sentence, you're going to do 14 months. On a 7-year sentence, you're going to do 17 months. So you do 19 months on an 8-year sentence and then see the parole board. Have an opportunity to get out. She's rocking with him the entire time, but things start to get rocky right around month 14, 15. He's not really understanding it because Mike's looking at it like, man, I'm potentially about to come home, and she's acting real funny, not answering the phone half the time. When I am on the phone with her, it seems as though her words are very short. You can tell when somebody hits the hold button on you. And you're talking and they're not saying anything. You're like, why do you keep hitting the hold button? I'm not hitting the hold button. My chin accidentally hit it. He's in every excuse in the book. Visitation slowed down. She's barely coming to visit. The letters slowed down. The money, everything is slowed down. Man, my baby's tripping on me and I'm doing everything that I can do to potentially get out, and I have a great chance of getting out within the next 4 or 5 months. And what is the deal? Sees the parole board. As I mentioned, he's thinking that he has a great opportunity to come home, and he sees the parole board and they hit him with the hammer. 15 months. 15 months. Come back and see us in 15 months. We want you to go through the substance abuse program. I don't even smoke weed. Why do I got to go through? I don't have a substance abuse problem. But the parole board tells you to do something. You better do it. Or you just going to serve your time out. Y'all rock with me. Now, knowing that I only had a few months left, 4 or 5 months left, and she was acting this way, and once she sees that I have an additional 15 months, oh man, baby's really not going. And just as he expected, he didn't even want to tell her. He didn't know how to tell her. But she knew. She got the alerts on her phone. So you can sign up for alerts. So anytime there's a change in your sentencing, or whenever you get moved, or your status or whatever, you'll get an alert. She already knew. 15-month setback, deferment. Same dude that she talked about didn't play around about her. My baby don't play when it comes to me. Call me a fool, but you can't fool me. We done all played the fool. Everybody plays a fool. Sometimes. No exceptions to the rule. No exceptions. We all done played the fool, man. Sometimes multiple times. Things really started to barely heard from her at all. Special holidays. See, in prison, like Christmas, Thanksgiving, New Year's, Memorial Day, 4th of July, things of that nature, they call it special visits. So even if these holidays take place on a Wednesday or Thursday or Tuesday, whatever, they're going to have visits, opposed to just having visits on Saturday and Sundays, 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. Again, this is in the state of Kentucky. She got to the point to where she wasn't even showing up for visits. He's calling and calling, blowing the phone up. Oh, my car's messed up. Understandable. Oh, I was on my way, but one of the kids ended up having to have practice. Understandable. But it was excuse after excuse after excuse. Got to the point to where she just really wasn't answering the phone. He knows something's going on. So the times that he did have an opportunity to speak with Miss Ebony, see, this is why I don't be answering the phone, because I don't have time to be arguing. Our whole demeanor had changed. Fellas, we know when our woman ain't being the same. Baby, we only arguing because I haven't heard anything from you. I haven't received a letter. You told me you was going to send this. You told me you was going to do this, do that. Well, I got this going on out here and I got that going on and I'm stressed. Understandably. We stress our family out. We stress our women out when we go to prison. So it's totally understandable, but denied communication, none. Not necessarily none, but it's very, very minimal communication. Nah. Something's going on. Just tell me what you want. Come on, y'all. Tell me what you need. Tell me if it ain't good enough for you, babe. Tell me. Just tell me. If you want to be with somebody else, you can't do this prison thing anymore, I understand, but just tell me. Don't make it seem as though it's my fault and we all good, but you're just stressed and you just tell me. It's gonna hurt, but I'm a big boy, I can get past it. Ebony never told him. Not at that point. He's sitting at the poker table one day. Sounds so familiar because I've been there. Definitely been there. He's sitting at the poker table. She done told him that she was going to come and see him. She done wrote him a letter. I'm going to come and see you this week. I promise. It's on a Sunday. Last opportunity to get a visit until next Saturday. Damn near a whole week. They stopped calling visits at about 2 o'clock, 2:15 at the very, very latest. And if your people come at 2:15, they're going to end visits at about 2:50. So if it's your girl, you really upset. You happy to see her. Get you a couple of hugs and smooches, but you really upset. Like, why are you coming at 2:15? But nevertheless, that's just how it went sometimes. Some loving is better than no loving. Waiting and waiting. 2:15 comes. Never called his name for visit. He's furious. It's like the third or fourth time in a row she was supposed to come. She didn't show up, but she promised this time she was coming. He goes and checks the J-Pay machine. See, in prison now they have what's called J-Pay. Back in the day, when I first started going to prison, you had to just rely on letters, money orders. But J-Pay, everything's instant. The person can sit down, write your email, boom, boom, boom. You get it instantly. They can take their card, send you money, boom, boom, boom. You get the money instantly. He checks the J-Pay. He sees that he has a message. Clicks on the message. It's Ebony. It's a long message. Because you can tell, like, when you first click on, it's a long message. It's a Dear John message. For y'all that's not sure, what a Dear John is, means it's over. No matter how you try to slice it and dice it, and it's over. Dear John, by the time you read this letter, I'll be gone. Life goes on. That's what a Dear John is. He's reading this letter. He's fighting back the tears. It has nothing. He's hearing her voice as he's reading the letter. It has nothing to do with you being in prison. That's always women. It has nothing to do with you being in prison. When we was all good. We was all good when I wasn't in prison. But now all of a sudden I am in prison and I just need my space. I just need time to figure out some things. I'm tired of the arguing. I'm tired of the... But you all are arguing because, first of all, Mike has to take responsibility for going to prison. But I only went to prison because this was your heat, baby girl. I didn't want you to be separated from your kids. This was your heat. That's how much I loved you. I love you. And this is what you do me. You do me this. I'm just stressed. And I just can't. I just need some time to think. I'll always love you. But I just can't. Mike's blowing the phone up. She won't answer the phone. It gets to the point to where he's just like, man, forget it. Doesn't want to be that way, but he's driving himself crazy. And he got to the point now he's at a camp. They don't have a fence. You can just literally walk off at a camp. But you're going to get a minimum of 10 years, 7 if you're lucky, in addition to what you already have. I can't do that. I got kids. He's going on with his life. He didn't have any other side females, anybody to rebound with. He's having to deal with things the hard way. Triple pause. He's having to deal with things that, just get past it on your own while she's out here. Ain't no telling what she's doing. She claims no other man has her heart, nobody else's. Sounds good. I can tell you the sky is purple. And if I make it sound good enough, guess what? You're going to believe the sky is purple. Five, 6 months passes. He's about to get out. Or he's about to go back up for parole. It's maybe 2 months before he's going back up for parole. He gets a message. There is a message. He gets a message on JPay. I was just checking with you to see how. This is during COVID. This is during COVID to where inmates was locked down. They couldn't get visits. It was terrible. From what I hear, I wasn't in there. 2020. She sends him a message checking on him. She too weighs him, so he writes back. He hits her back. But then she's taking like a week or so to respond back to him. Still playing games, man. Still playing games. It don't take, well, I'm sorry, I didn't know that you had messaged back. I mean, you get an alert. If you message someone the same way that I see, same way when somebody text message, you get an alert. But you right. Communication was limited. He ends up making parole. He comes home. When he comes home, he's home for a few weeks. He doesn't have to go to our home. He has family. He goes to his mom's house to get on his feet. Got him a job. Still had his car. Still, so he's in one of those situations to where he didn't have to rely on her financially when he first came home. Didn't even bother her. Thing is, she had all of his clothes. She had all of his items. But he was so torn up about how she did him. He just said, you know what, forget it. Forget it. I'm not even going to get my clothes. Matter of fact, because he had gotten in shape. He was a little overweight. So he had been working out, got in shape. He couldn't fit them clothes anyway. She ends up hitting him up. And he realized that some of those things he did need, like some of the shoes and some of the clothes, because it was like, I'm starting all over. She hits him up. They end up meeting up. They meet up. Gets his clothes. They see each other for the first time. They hug. Those old feelings that they thought that were gone and suppressed, they were still there. They were still there. They never went anywhere. She gets to hitting him up or whatever. But he noticed that the times that they would hook up, he never could come to her house. It's the same house that same bed, same house that he frequented every night. He lived there, but all of a sudden, well, my mom is staying here, and okay, but your mom loves me. He became suspicious, but he didn't want to cause any friction, any problems. See, why he did his prison time, he understood to allow bygones to be bygones, to know that he wasn't always perfect. He had his transgressions. He had things that he had done or what have you. So he didn't want to cause any sort of problems. Feelings were becoming stronger and stronger. Same woman that I always talked about, she wants a man that don't play about her. Well, come to find out, eventually she admits it, she got a dude. She kicking with a dude named Killer. Damn, Killer. That don't seem like somebody I just want to run up on. She kicking it with a dude named Killer now. Killer, don't get it twisted. Like, Killer wasn't a soft dude, but he got the name Killer because he looked like Cameron, the rapper. If you're not sure, just look him up, Cameron, a.k.a. Killer Cam. So instead of calling him Cam, they called him Killer. So that's how he got the name Killer. She's kicking it with this dude. She been kicking it with this dude. Dude lives with her. Been living with her. You moved this dude in when it was all said and done, when it all boiled down to, she moved this dude in like within 2 or 3 months after the love of her life had been incarcerated for a charge that theoretically he took for her. Furious. And I will strike upon thee, what they say in that Pulp Fiction, I will strike upon thee with furious anger. No. Rewind. I will strike upon thee with furious anger for those that attempt to persecute me. And you will know my name is the Lord when I cast my vengeance upon thee. Cash App is $KENZ1000. Cash App is $KENZ1000. I ain't said it in so long I had to think back to what it was. Furious. He is furious, man. And he got a problem with Killer, but really you shouldn't have a problem with Killer. You should have a problem with her. But he got a problem with Killer, man. He got a major problem, because this is the individual that's standing in the way. Once he learns of this situation, she gets to the point to where she's pretty much just cutting him all the way off. Cutting him all the way off. He knows the certain places that she frequents, the clubs, and he's going, he's posting up, he's seeing her. He's trying to talk to her, but she pretty much was over with. Damn, baby, I done ruined my whole life. I done ruined my whole life for you, and this how you do me. Once he seen that wasn't gonna go anywhere, comes to the crib. She lived in the house. Oftentimes she would be out in the garage. Like, she had like a little workshop in the garage, and she made different trinkets and things like that she would sell and make. She had a following, so she would make money off the things she sold or whatever. And she would make the things right there in their garage, like workstation or whatever. He goes to the house, goes to the garage, and lo and behold, that's where she's at. He's trying to talk to her. Of course, she's not trying to listen. You need to leave. You need to get out of here. Gets to making not necessarily a scene because there was nobody around, but she gets to making noises, screaming and hollering or whatever. Grabs a hammer off the workstation bench or whatever. Strikes her in the head with it. Boom! Hits her 3 or 4 times. Additional times. Immediately unalived. She's unalive. One of the neighbors heard her screaming. Dude leaves, but when he leaves in her car. He don't even, so I guess however he got there, he didn't get there driving. He didn't get there driving because he left in her car. Mike wasn't from Kentucky. He was from, I want to say Cleveland or somewhere. They catch him about a week later in Cleveland, bring him back here. Extradite him back here. Charge him with murder. Based upon what the neighbor said. Goes to trial. Mike was smart about the situation. He wasn't smart to even do it, first of all. But there was no murder weapon. There was no clothes. There was no forensics. There was no, they really couldn't tie him all the way to it. But there was circumstantial evidence. Well, the thing about circumstantial evidence, that's how most people get convicted. Most people are convicted by circumstantial evidence or somebody pointing the finger saying, he did it, she did it. So you don't always have to have the smoking gun. Mike ended up taking a 20-year plea deal. A manslaughter, in which you would have to do 85%, which is 17 years on that 20-year sentence. But it beat the hell out of getting a life sentence. Potentially the death penalty. Kentucky does have the death penalty because he came over there, but you couldn't really say it was premeditated because they never found the murder weapon. I think that is so sad. It's so sad. And you know what's even more sad, or just as sad? At Ebony's funeral, there was retaliation. And someone got unalived at her funeral. Someone literally got unalived. And I'm gonna keep it for part 2. I'm not gonna leave you all with a cliffhanger. But someone got unalived at her funeral. Retaliation. Retaliation is a must, fool. Shout out to the Bay. Shout out to the West Coast. So, ladies, I want you all to really, really understand when you're talking about, I love a man that don't play about me. Okay, it's cool that you have a man that's really, really into you, but understand that some men really, really, really don't play about you at all. And understand that if you ever decide to leave this man, don't try to twist the sentiment then. Don't try to reverse what you've been saying. He don't play about you. You mine for life. I don't agree with it, but I'm just simply saying a lot of people, a lot of fellas feel that way. Not all fellas, but you got a lot of fellas feel like you're going to be with me. And if you're not going to be with me, you're not going to be with nobody. Especially if we got kids together. Again, I don't feel this way. Keep it moving. Keep it pushing. Watch what you say. Watch what you wish for. When you see these sort of signs in the beginning that are letting you know that this individual may be a little stalkish tendencies. This individual may be a sandwich is too short of a picnic. Understand that. It's not going to get any better. He means that. What he's saying, how he's acting, what he's showing you, he means that. I would encourage you to, once you start to see these tendencies, to get away. Because it's going to be a lot easier to get away in the beginning opposed to when you're 5 or 6 years in. Condolences go out to that young lady's family, Mike's family. And I only say Mike's family, Mike is still here, but doing 17 years in the pen, and really, I shouldn't even have said condolences to Mike's family because he's still here. So I guess that wasn't the right thing to say. They can still write him. They can still visit him. They can still send him money. They can still send him encouragement. But yet the young lady, Ebony, she's no longer with us, man. I don't want to say that she brought it on herself because that would be very, very insensitive to say, in my opinion. But watch who you deal with, man. Watch who you deal with. It's cute in the beginning, but it gets real in the end. Real Kens TV. Hopefully you like the video. Feel free to comment. Definitely share. Subscribe to the channel. If you're not already subscribed, be sure to hit that post notification. So anytime I bring you this action and this heat, guess what? You're amongst the first to receive.